If you'd like to know what the Cobbler category is in cocktails dating back to the 1800s, keep watching. I'm going to tell you the history and show you how to make 3 of them. Hey guys, so the Cobbler cocktail was sort of like a broad category back in the 1800s. It was normally a cocktail that was made with wine, spirits, fresh fruit and sweetened with some sugar, and normally it was served over ice and garnished with fruit that was in season. They were shaken in a 2-piece or a Boston shaker, or also a 3-piece shaker, which at the time was called a Cobbler shaker. In Jerry Thomas's 1862 Bon Vivant's companion cocktail book, he called for 2 glasses of whiskey, 2 to 3 slices of orange, a tablespoon of sugar, and all of them shaken together in a cocktail shaker. This disappeared for a few years. In the Savoy cocktail book in the 1930s, they called for all the ingredients shaken, but then the fruit would be added later. By the 1990s, Dale DeGroff, the king of cocktails, while working at Blackbird in New York City, he decided to revive it by shaking the fruit inside the cocktail shaker. However, he took it one step further and decided to muddle it, because by muddling, it would release the juices and the essential oils that were in the skins of the peel. However you decide to make a Cobbler, the Cobbler is definitely a cocktail or a category of cocktails that all aspiring bartenders need to know and have in their knowledge bank. So the 3 Cobblers that I'm going to make for you are original recipes that have just been tweaked a little bit for a modern day palate. So the first cocktail I'm going to make for you is a sherry Cobbler, and that calls for a slice of orange, slice of lemon, which I'm going to muddle. So I'm just extracting the flavours, as I said earlier, getting those essential oils out of the peel. So next up, I'm going to use 75 mils of a medium sherry. That's 2.5 ounces for our American friends. 20 mils or 2/3 of an ounce of Maraschino Liqueur. 30 mils or 1 ounce of freshly squeezed orange juice. It has to be freshly squeezed, by the way. Now I'm going to move my shaker across because it will be served up in crushed ice. I'm going to crush the ice right here. Although we do have an ice crush machine here, I want to show you guys the way that I do it at home, where I don't have a machine. Give it a really good bang. Flip. Beautiful. Add some fresh ice to the shaker. Give it a really good shake. Then I'm going to double strain into a wine goblet they used to use back in the day. Top off with some crushed ice. Now, need to try to not get it everywhere. Fail. And for my garnish, normally you would use a lemon peel or a lemon wedge, an orange wedge, some pineapple. I'm just going to put them in there because I sort of like the look of that. Give it a little bit of a stir. It's a sherry Cobbler. It's normally probably a smaller goblet than that, but I don't have a smaller one here at the 18th. I'm going to give it a try. Wow, so fruity. People need to drink more sherry drinks, honestly. I haven't really had a lot of drinks with a medium style sherry. I normally drink a lot of Spanish Fino and so forth, but this is really nice, really refreshing. I guess it's sort of low ABV because although 75 mils, might have a little bit of booze in there, but I'll tell you what, it's bloody delicious. Cobbler number 2 is the Whiskey Cobbler. really well known out there as well. And it's pretty much the same as the last one that I made, okay? So I'm going to get some pineapple pieces, orange wedge, lemon wedge, give it another muddle. So it depends on what fruits that you have in your bar, what are in season. I personally like the citrus style fruits myself, so yeah. Okay, so next up is 50 mils of Scotch whiskey. I'm going to use a blend, Shiver's 12-year-old. And 20 mils of triple sec, Cointreau. Now, normally they would use sugar, as I said before, but because I've used the Cointreau, I think that's going to be sweet enough for this cocktail with the orange as well. So we're going to give that another shake. Okay. And then grab a smaller wine goblet this time. Add some crushed ice. Do it down here where it's less mess. And I'm going to just strain that. Definitely double strain it because we don't want all the bits of the fruit going into the drink. Give that a little bit of a stir just to get that crushed ice stirred into the cocktail. Just going to do an orange wedge for the garnish on this one. You can garnish with whatever you like. I'm going to give it a try. I think it does need a touch of sugar syrup. Just not enough sweetness there. I'm going to do about maybe 7.5 mils, quarter of an ounce. And I'm going to add just a little bit more crushed ice to that as well. I just found there that the whiskey was just a little bit overpowering and it was a little bit dry. And the whole thing with the cobbler is you really want it to be nice and fruity as well. Give it another try. Way better. It's amazing what a little bit of sugar syrup does. It not only adds sweetness to a cocktail, it also enhances flavors. That's why there's sugar pretty much in everything, like tomato sauce or ketchup has got so much sugar in it, because it just really accentuates that flavor, and that's all that little 7.5 mils has done, and a little bit more of that cracked ice, and just balance that cocktail out really well. I like that too. It's sorry, munching away. It's strong, right? It's boozy, it's fruity, and it's dangerous. Be careful with this one. Last but not least is the Brandy Cobbler. Very similar to all the other cobblers that I've been making, except this one what I'm going to do is I'm going to add probably about half a yellow peach. So I'm going to make it like a brandy peach cobbler. And then once again, slice of orange, slice of lemon, give it a bit of a muddle. The lemon and orange isn't so much for the flavour, it's just for adding that citrus element to the drink to balance out. Okay. I am going to add, I think, about 5 mils of sugar syrup. It's not on the original menu, but I just think it's needed. All right, going to add 50 mils of brandy. I really think brandy is totally underrated in Australia. Brandy is kind of like what your grandmother or your dad drinks, but there's so many great brandies out there. We should be drinking more of it. I'm going to do about 15 mils of a peach liqueur or peach schnapps as well. Add some ice. give it a really good shake to get that peach muddled up. All right, it's cold. Once again, going to double strain into a wine goblet. Took a while. Yeah, don't be deceived. It looks a bit short, but it's a pretty tall goblet there. There's still about 80 mils juice of drink in there. Add that crushed ice to bring that up. Geez, I'm so messy, George. Give it a stir. I'll just give a touch more ice for that one. All right, well, what am I going to use for a garnish? I think I'll just do another orange wedge maybe for that one. You could use a piece of peach as well. That's a Brandy Cobbler. Yum. That's my favourite. The peach schnapps or liqueur works really well with the muddle orange. The brandy's definitely coming through. It's a lot more summery. I feel that that would sell a lot more in one of my venues than the other two. What a great category. It's something that I personally don't do a lot of cobblers and haven't over the years, but I should do more of them. Maybe put something, and maybe a variation of one of these on a menu. But guys, that's the cobbler. Please, if you know any other cobblers, let me know. Because I really want to put one on the menu. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon on Let's Talk Drinks.